Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is the Chimichurri Butter Burger. Today we're making my favorite South American condiment, chimichurri, and we're gonna work it into just about every aspect of this butter burger. I'm talking about a compound butter made with chimichurri that's stuffed inside of a chimichurri beef patty. It's gonna be cooked on the griddle, basted with more chimichurri butter, covered with cheese, and served on a Kaiser roll with some lettuce, tomato, avocado, and a chimichurri aioli. Tons of flavor in this burger. Let's get into it. Now, if you're not familiar, chimichurri is this very vibrant, bright, herbaceous sauce or condiment that's made up of a lot of herbs, parsley, cilantro, oregano, and then we're gonna throw in some aromatics like garlic, we've got capers, we've got shallot, and then you're always gonna need that tang from the red wine vinegar and some extra virgin olive oil. You can do this by hand or in a blender. Today we're doing it in a blender. So I'm gonna roughly chop up about 3/4 of a cup of parsley and cilantro. We can use the stems and the leaves. There's flavor in all of it, but we don't have to do too much knife work. Just kind of break it down a little bit to get a rough idea of how much you need. That's about half of a bunch of parsley, and it's gonna go right into our blender. Same thing with the cilantro here. We're gonna let the blender do most of the work, but again, about half of a bunch should pack down into about 3/4 of a cup. Garlic's real easy because we're just going to crush and peel it and throw it into the blender. No need to do any knife work there. And then we've got one shallot that's going to work itself out to be about 2 ounces once we've got this trimmed up. And again, we're just going to get this peeled and then we'll do a rough chop on it. We'll finish that off with a few tablespoons of oregano leaves, a couple tablespoons of capers, about 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, and about 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I do want to get a little salt and pepper in here, so we're going to do about a teaspoon of the Cattleman's Grill Lone Star brisket rub, which is just salt, pepper, roasted garlic, and celery seed. We'll start on a low speed to make sure we can get it going, and then crank it up. You can go as smooth or as chunky as you like. It's totally a preference. A little texture is kind of nice, but also when you're trying to work this into, say, like anything you want to squeeze out of a bottle, like a chimichurri butter, or sorry, chimichurri mayo, it's nice to get it a little bit smoother. Just gonna scrape down the sides here and let it go a little bit longer. Yeah, still got a little texture to it, which I like, but pretty broken down. We're gonna call that good. So next thing I wanna do is make this chimichurri compound butter. Just gonna take 1 stick of butter, which is a 1/2 cup, and add about 1/4 cup of chimichurri to it. Mash and mix this up really well. All right, so once that's well mixed, we're gonna roll this up into a log inside of some plastic wrap. I wanna get this nice and tight. Give it a roll. I'm just pinching the ends now, and then we're just gonna spin that till it's all roughly the same size and throw it into the freezer to set up. Next, we're gonna mix up these burger patties, and we're starting with the Creekstone Farms brisket blend burger pucks here, which these are 1/4 pound pucks. I actually wanna do a little bit bigger burger today. I'm gonna do like a, 1/3 pound to 6 ounce, somewhere in that range. So we're gonna break these up. We're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of chimichurri. Actually, we can just kind of throw the rest of that in there. That's all we need for this whole recipe. And then just give these a good quick mix without overworking them too much or handling them too much. We don't want that fat to start to melt just yet. Once we feel like we've got that incorporated pretty well, we'll go ahead and scale these out. So we're just shy of 36 ounces with the chimichurri worked in, which means we're gonna be just shy of 6 ounces on each one of these burger patties. Just kind of compacting these by hand as we ball them up so that they're nice and dense and hold together. I want to keep this meat nice and cold, so this is going to go back into the refrigerator while we wait for that butter to set up. Well, our burger patties are just about ready to be stuffed with the compound butter, so I want to get our Halo 4B griddle fired up so that it's hot when we're ready to cook. So this thing cooks pretty hot, so I'm going to start this out on low heat as it preheats on 1/2, actually all of it. We're going to go low heat for all of it, and we'll adjust our settings when we go ahead and get the food on here. The butter's firmed up. Now I want to go ahead and cut it into pats. This is 12 tablespoons total, and we're going to slice it into 12 pieces. So half of this is going to go inside the burger, half of it's going to go on the burger. Kind of going gentle because I don't want it to crumble apart. So now we're going to take our portioned out meat, just going to put a hole in there, stuff the butter inside, and then we'll wrap that patty around it, form it up to just a little bit larger than the size of the bun that you're going to serve it on. That way when it shrinks, you don't have it big bun, tiny burger. Now before we go over to the grill, we're going to hit these with some of our Lone Star brisket rub, keeping the flavor profile simple with the seasoning. That way we can really let that chimichurri sing. We'll hit the other side once we get these onto the griddle. I'm going to hit this with a little duck fat, and then we'll go seasoning side down. And we'll hit the other side with some more of that Lone Star. So initially here, we're just looking to get a really nice crust on the bottom. That's why we're using the griddle, so we can get full contact, full crust. We'll give them a flip and finish them off. So here on the left side of the grill, I'm gonna turn these burners completely off. This thing gets really hot. I wanna gently toast these buns here in a little bit. I don't wanna blacken them. So the residual heat that's on there is gonna be all we need. These have been on for about 5 minutes now. We're gonna go ahead and give them a flip. That butter's kind of been basting from the inside out. Now you're gonna see it start to come out a bit, which is fine. We've still got plenty of that flavor going on inside. And now we're gonna work from the top down, taking the remaining butter that we have, we'll place that on top and let it melt, kind of basting from the top down. And then we're gonna put a slice of pepper jack on top of each one. Get a little water in here so we can steam that cheese. Some of these will get a nice little bit of a cheese skirt that forms around the bottom of the burger as well. So now we're gonna get some duck fat or whatever kind of fat down on the surface to toast the buns. And then we'll put a little water down over here. It's gonna steam that cheese and help soften the buns as well. So we want to bring these up to right about 150, and we are in that sweet spot, so it's time to take our burgers off. Yeah. All right, beautiful golden brown color on the buns. These are all going to be ready to come off as well. I'm going to throw some avocados on this burger, so instead of slicing them, which causes them usually to slide out the side, we're just going to do a quick mash on this avocado. Shake a little Lone Star in there. So now the buns, both sides are gonna get a little bit of our chimichurri mayo. I'm gonna put some avocado on that top bun. And then we'll work from the bottom up, starting with some butter lettuce. Slice of tomato. We're gonna balance out all this heavy richness in the burger with some freshness. Check out the skirt on that one. That's it. Top them up, and you're ready to enjoy a messy burger. Let's get a nice profile shot here. Woo! A lot going on in there. Here we go. Chimichurri is the first thing I taste. It shouldn't be surprising because it's worked into so many different elements. Man, that beef is buttery for sure. Even though a lot of that kind of cooked out during the process, the fact that it's there to baste adds fat to the burger, but also it kind of is a vehicle for the flavor of the chimichurri, because once you've got fat coating your mouth, it's moving all those flavors around. So I think that really punches in that chimichurri flavor. Despite it being cheesy and a little bit buttery, it is nice to have the fresh stuff there. That kind of helps balance things out. Avocado, nice and fresh. The tomato's a nice cool bite against the warm burger. I know we talk about it all the time, but contrast and balance in any recipe is really key. Multiple textures, multiple temperatures, flavors that work well together. And we've hit all those notes today. So I hope you guys will try this one. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.